Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lender Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida 76508, Georgia 69178, Illinois 031.0058339, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington 237926. Heidi Cycle Points DBO 1666881, Arizona 101648.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.
All right, well, welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux, and I have got a new mom on with me. This is Heather Kilpatrick. Are we going Heather Barkley Kilpatrick? We going Heather Barkley? What are we doing?
Just do Heather Kilpatrick. It seems easiest.
All right. So we've got Heather Kilpatrick with us. She is a new loan officer on my team. She is going to be doing a PowerPoint with me, a Homebuyer Workshop. You guys know I've been in this workshop mode. I've been doing it since the beginning of the year and trying to get this educational information out to you. And so today we are going to be doing how do you select your real estate agent. So stay tuned for that. The reason I've got my girl here with me is that Heather has been a real estate agent for how many years?
Over 25.
Okay.
A long time.
I'm going to say it's longer than that because I'm over 25 years in loans.
I was trying to keep it down.
No, I'm going to say you're actually over the 30 number at this point.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I am pushing 30. Yeah. Pushing 30.
Yeah.
Not quite there yet.
Okay. Not
Maybe
quite.
1 or 2
Anyway,
more years.
so she's been a real estate agent for, we're going to say 30 minus years. And
That's perfect.
so we're going to talk all about the best way to select that real estate agent. And what I love is that she is now on my team. So she is not only, obviously selling real estate, but she is out there and she's helping you guys get your loans done as well. So you now know who Heather is. You can put a face with the name, with the voice when you call. But it's going to be a great episode. But first, since I don't have Heidi, I have to do catching up with mom with you.
Okay. Sounds
all right.
good. Yeah.
So what's up? How's your first week at Mortgage Mom been?
It's good. It's crazy. It's been very interesting. A lot of stuff goes on around here.
We're quite busy, right?
Yeah, you guys are really busy, but
Yeah.
I just love the attention to detail to everybody that calls or emails. I absolutely love that. So.
Yeah, it's been a process, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because obviously I'm not teaching you how to do the job. I'm teaching you my way of doing the job, right?
Yeah. So I'm fortunate because you and I have worked together for 30
Yes,
minus years.
many.
And so we've kind of grown up in the business together. So I really feel like I know your style, but at the same time coming here, I really need to learn a little bit more. But it's just the process learning it is really fascinating because the attention to detail that you give everybody, and like people call and they actually get you. I know that's like one of the questions. Do I get Debbie? Absolutely you get Debbie. So I think that that's really important that people know that they get you. And like it seems like every question they have, you're able to answer. And I love that because
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people say, I called this person and they weren't able to tell me this answer. And you're like, oh, well, here's the answer. And they're like, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And this is, I've been really focused on these homebuyer workshops. I mean, they're very, very important to me that I'm getting this education out because it really does make it easy for somebody to buy a home. Obviously we're doing refinances. So if you guys are out there listening, you want to know if you should refinance or not, we're lenders, right? You're going to call us. We're going to talk to you. But it's really, really important to get that first time buyer into their home. And then obviously somebody, if they haven't done it in 5 or 10 years and they're thinking we're going to sell our house now and go buy another one, sometimes you almost feel like you're a first time buyer again.
Yeah.
So to me, that is such a huge process, and it really is kind of debilitating, and it's frustrating, and it's very stressful, that if we can try to take some of that out of the situation, we can actually
Absolutely.
make it a fun transaction, right? We can get it exciting again. We can get there.
And a lot has changed in 10 years. The market right now is so crazy that people that even bought 5 years ago, they're going through stuff that they didn't go through 5 years ago buying a home. And the products are completely different. The loans that are out there and what they need to qualify for. So they can say, oh, I'm seasoned. I've done this 5 times. Well, you haven't been in this market. So
Yeah, no,
it's a
this
little
is-
bit different.
Yeah, that was the last week, I think. Well, last week we were off because of Easter, but the week before, right? Or a couple weeks ago, whatever. I'm off. It's like all blending together. But yeah, it's just one of those things that it's such a different market. I actually said that to somebody the other day. They're like, well, what should I do? I was like, it's just a different market. It will eventually go back to where it was.
Yeah.
Do I see a massive crash coming? I don't. I think that we're going to see, eventually we're going to see more inventory, which will stabilize prices. It will kind of slow down that
Right.
crazy, rapid
Yeah.
equity and appreciation. But this is a different market, so you've got to be prepared. And doing these workshops, I feel like we're giving people a little bit of a step up, a little get ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of buyers out there that are first-time buyers that feel like I can't get anything right now, and it's like, just be patient. And the best thing I can tell you is just get pre-qualified, because that house is going to come, and the worst thing you can do is not be prepared.
Yeah.
And then sit there and go, oh my gosh, I need to play catch up. And you don't want to play catch up. You want to be prepared when that house does come. And that's get your loan application in, get pre-approved, know exactly what you're looking for, know what you need to put down, know what your closing costs are going to be, and know what you need to look for in a home. And if you are ready when that house comes, you're going to be 150% so much in a better position.
Yeah. And we've got a closing cost workshop that I did. I was actually going to put it in one of the shows, but this show actually goes out to radio on, over the weekend. And when it's on radio, then it's really, really hard to follow, because I'm doing a PowerPoint. I've got the worksheet up. I'm going line for line. I'm explaining what every single cost is, and I'm showing you what to expect and how to explain it. And I'm explaining it. And it's so hard if all you're doing is you're listening, you're in your car, you're listening by radio, you're listening by podcast. It's really, really hard to follow that workshop. So
Sure.
if you've been wondering about closing costs, you want to know what they are, you want to know what's part of them, you want to know what they're for, who am I paying, what are they getting, why?
Yeah.
Those workshops are fantastic. So you really do need to go to our YouTube. So go to Mortgage Mom Radio on YouTube and watch our Homebuyer Workshop 2021 playlist. And there is a closing cost workshop in there. There's actually 2 of them. Closing cost worksheet. Number 1 is an FHA worksheet, and then number 2 is a conventional loan worksheet. And obviously I had to just kind of pick numbers to work through. So I did one that was, at 400,000, I think, for FHA. And I did another one that's a little bit higher in conventional, like 800,000. But those are going to be really, really good for you to follow and to watch and to learn and to understand. I mean, I got a call today, and you were actually sitting there listening, and it was somebody telling me they've been through 2 different lenders, and neither one of them pre-approved by 2 different lenders. And neither one of those lenders provided them with an estimate or a worksheet.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that we do here. We're educating our clients. If they call us and they get pre-approved through us, we're going to make sure that we're taking them through all of the pieces. They have to know how much money they need.
Yeah.
It's not just your down payment. There's closing costs too.
Yeah, and it's so important from a realtor's perspective, because when you come to us with your lender, we need to know what type of loan are you doing, what are your closing costs, do you need any of those closing costs paid by the
Right.
seller, do you have all those funds? And if you don't know those answers because your lender doesn't tell you, it's very difficult for us to know what we're doing for you.
Right. Well, and yeah, I mean, you were just saying, we were talking about this earlier, right? And again, it's a lot of shop talk because it's around the water cooler, right? That we're talking about the phone call that just happened. And, and you were saying, you're like, the first page of the contract, I need to know. I'm talking to a buyer and I'm saying, well, what kind of loan are you getting? Well, what interest rate are you getting? Well, how much are you putting down? And they can't answer those questions for you. So it's very, very important that if you are out there and you've been thinking about buying a home, whether you are a first-time buyer or not, you need to know that not only are you pre-approved, but you need to understand how much do you need to close that loan? What are the terms of the loan? Keep in mind that we can't lock in your interest rate when you are shopping for a property. Your rate does not get locked in until you actually go into escrow. You've got to have that signature from the seller on that contract. All parties have agreed and accepted. And at that point in time, we can actually get you locked into your rate. So we're going to give you an estimate, the very best that we can, based on where the market is at the time of our conversation. So, but if you don't have any idea, not a clue where you're at, no idea what those closing costs are going to run you, and you've never seen a worksheet, you need to call that lender back, or you need to call us and you need to get on our calendar to talk to us and do a pre-approval through Mortgage Mom Radio, because that is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle.
Right. It's very frustrating. I've had it before where I've had a buyer that's come to me with a different lender, and I've said, okay, we're writing, for example, 500,000, and okay, are you putting down 5%? Oh yeah, I'm putting down 5%. Okay, write down 5% or 10%. and you write it, you get into escrow, and the next thing you know, no, it's not 10% down or 5% down, it's 3.5% down, and you're doing an FHA, and you wrote in a termite. Now you need to do a termite. When they don't know what the terms of what their loan is, it's very, very difficult. So it's important that the buyers communicate with their lenders and really find out all that important information about their loan.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I agree with that. If you are thinking, hey, you know what, I really need to call these girls and I need to talk to them, give us a call. Mikey's going to put it up on the screen if you're watching us on YouTube. We really hope that you guys are. We are live at 5 every single Wednesday right here on YouTube, unless it is a holiday and we are dark. The telephone number is 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for you. That is LEND and the number 4. So we want to make sure that you guys give us a call. You could talk to me. You could talk to Heather. You could talk to Cindy. You could talk to Carrie. You could talk to anybody you want from the team. Heidi. Heidi's probably loving that you're doing this show today. She loves it when she gets a break. And we love to give her breaks. That girl works her booty off. Boy, does she.
Exactly.
But we want to get you guys on the calendar. We want you to talk to us. We want you to be part of, let us help you, get to your goal and your dream of homeownership. If you guys are enjoying this, you're getting valuable information, you guys like these shows, please help us with our algorithm. Hit that like button on the video for us. Click that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you've got all of your notifications when every time we upload a new video or we go live. Please make sure you guys do that. It really, really does help us. And so with that, I'm going to tell you this. You didn't ask me to catch up with me.
Well, you didn't finish talking yet.
I didn't. I know.
I know you have a lot going on.
I do.
And so what's going on with you?
So Mom is going in for a mommy makeover. It is time. Like, if you guys are watching me on YouTube right now, I'm telling you, this going on here needs to come off.
Come on, beautiful.
3 kids later, 3 C-sections. You know what? It's time.
Yeah, I hear you.
I work my butt off, and it's time. So, it's that's coming. So obviously, I'm going to be down for like a week, maybe 2. I'm sure girls that are listening to me right now, they've done it, are like, she's crazy.
Yeah.
But the difference is that I'm going to be not staying at home. I'm going to be staying where I work. So I will be able to roll out of bed and barely stand up at my stand-up desk. I've got everything situated. We'll see when we get there. Maybe I'm not cool enough to make it all happen.
Help you out.
You are. You're going to help me out.
I'm going to be here.
Yep.
So.
Mom's coming to help. My brother's here every day. Manny's here every day. My son. Mikey's right around the corner. And, the dogs and the little guy and my husband will be in their own house. So I'm hoping that, renting the house, getting set up, having everything will allow me to maybe take a week off and then slowly work back. Even if I've got to be in bed and you have to come up and yell at me.
Are you nervous?
I am. I'm worried. I'm more worried not about the actual surgery itself.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about being able to, being in so much pain that I can't get things done.
Yeah.
It's more about the recovery period and how long is that going to take, or
Yeah, but you're a trooper, and after 3 C-sections, I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Not only that, I mean, let's all face it, right? I mean, I know this is going on radio, it's a little TMI or whatever, but the girls need done. It's time.
I hear ya.
It's needed. It's maybe not needed. People might be like, she is fine, whatever. But it's for me. It's something that I want to do. So I've been very, very busy trying to get everything prepared.
That's true.
So that I can take the time to do that and make sure that we're all caught up and everything's in place. And but I know you're going to be taking over. While
I am,
gone.
and I'm here, and she's here, and I will go bug her. So
she will. She's going to walk right into my room where I'm laying in bed with my tray over my lap.
I will climb into bed with her and be like, Dad, help.
Right? But didn't renting the house, look at our view.
I know.
Look at the camera view.
Amazing.
It really is. If you guys are listening Saturday morning on radio, we love it. Thank you so much for always listening. Really, truly, we appreciate it. But you guys, if you want to see what we're talking about and what we look like, and you got to go to our YouTube. You got to go to Mortgage Mom Radio. All you got to do is search it. Go to YouTube, find my channel, and watch our shows. They're
If you want to see Debbie before and after.
Yes, you want to see the before and after, you will. I'm telling you, it's going to be good stuff. So anyway, there might be a week that we get you guys a pre-recorded show, but my goal is to only be out like a week, maybe 2. I mean, I know that I'm going to be sore for a long time. I'm not going to be completely back to normal,
Well,
but
wheel
there should
you
be no
down here in a
reason.
hospital bed or something.
Right. Well, there's no reason. I mean, I was pregnant. Let's talk about when I was pregnant
Yeah.
with Mikey,
Yeah.
right? So Mikey's actually doing the show today. He's doing the recording with us. And he's my 16-year-old that set up all my YouTube stuff. He's like the little gamer guy. But
Yeah.
let's go all the way back. It was 2004 that I was pregnant. And I was working at Wells Fargo as a loan officer.
Makes me feel old.
And my first son just about killed me, bed rest, the whole thing. He was close to killing me, but not quite as bad. But I did get put on bed rest. But I'm, again, one of those people that,
You don't listen.
no, I don't.
No.
So anyway, so instead of actually being on bed rest, because I knew that if I was at home with Manny at the time, who was only 3.5, I wasn't going to be able to work. It was going to be too loud. He was going to be bugging me, trying to crawl into bed, touch the buttons while I was working with the computer on my lap. So I actually rented a big, giant Lazy Boy recliner, and I put it in my office at Wells Fargo.
I remember that.
I wasn't at a bank. I was at an actual mortgage hub.
Yeah.
And so I would literally get a ride to work every single day and waddle myself in and get in my Lazy Boy, recline back and put my computer on my lap, and I'd work all day long like that, all day long.
I don't think people realize that you're only 4'11".
I am only 4'11".
Debbie's not tall.
No, I am not. So
Yeah.
so when I'm pregnant, I'm like literally like waddling. So anyway, so if I could do that, I can lay in bed and I can
Absolutely.
still work. So I believe that I need like 7 days. And then after that, yes, I'm going to be sore. I might have to take like maybe a nap in the middle of the day. I'm sure I'm going to be exhausted.
Sure.
But anybody that does want to know about how it goes, just continue to follow. I will probably make maybe an extra folder. I'll make an extra playlist that is the Mortgage Mommy Makeover.
Yeah, I think that's a
and
good
I'm
idea.
gonna have
You
some.
should film.
I'm gonna film. I'm gonna film
Yeah,
like the
I
day,
think
like
you
when they're
should.
rolling me in, and then I'll film
Yeah.
like the day when I get out, and I'll be all groggy, and I'll probably say a couple dirty words, but whatever. And then
You'll be like those people that get their wisdom teeth pulled and
right,
they're filming them.
right, and then I'll record like day 1, day 2, day 3, because those
think
are the
you
ones that
should.
everybody wants to know how bad is it,
Yeah.
right? So I'm gonna let you know how bad it is, and then I'll do
Don't
maybe like.
sugarcoat it. Like, oh,
I'm not.
wonderful.
No.
you're not.
You're gonna know. You're gonna hear exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Exactly, 100% hands down. So, and I'll just let you know how I'm feeling and all that good stuff. So, anyway, if you haven't already, if you're listening Saturday morning on radio, or you guys are watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, and maybe Mommy Makeover is a big deal for you, subscribe to the channel, because we're gonna have a whole nother set of stuff going on, not just mortgage. So anyway, off of that.
Yeah.
Catch up done. We really do have to talk more mortgage. Like
Absolutely.
that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
right? So we're going to actually do our workshop, and this one today is all about we are pre-approved. We've got the loan. We are ready to go. What do we do? How do we pick that real estate agent? And again, why do I have Heather on with me? Well, because she's been a real estate agent for 30 minus
Very
years.
long time.
30 minus years.
Yes, I like that.
Yes. So, she's the best one to throw in information. Now, mind you, when I first got started in the business, I was in real estate too.
Yeah.
So both of us were real estating, and then I ended up going to mortgage, and then you kept real estating.
Yep.
And we worked together forever and ever and ever.
Forever.
So yeah, so we're you've got two really good ones right here to talk about how do you pick that real estate agent, right? So here we go. I'm Debbie Marcoux with Mortgage Mom Radio, and I've got Heather Kilpatrick with me, another loan officer on the Mortgage Mom Radio team and a real estate agent of 30 minus years. And she is going to be bringing to you live this Homebuyer Workshop. I believe we're unit number 12 at this point. I could be wrong. We could be 11, could be 12, we could be
gave up
13.
counting.
But I'm pretty sure that we're 12 at this point. We're unit number 12. But this is how do you pick the right real estate agent? So first, what we're going to do is we're going to tell you how to get in touch with us, how to talk to us, how do you find us, and then we're going to get into the good stuff. So what is the first thing that they do, Heather? You're out, you're showing property, and what is the best way for you to answer questions when people say, well, what would this house cost me? What would my payment look like?
You have a wonderful app that they're going to go ahead and text mom to 36260, and then when that app it's going to send you a link, and you're going to click on that link, and then you're going to go ahead and download your app to your phone.
Yep.
And you can do it on Android or iPhone, and it is amazing because it lets you plug in any numbers that you want within reason. You got to be smart about it, and it will bring up for you whatever numbers you plug in. It'll bring up for you your payment. So if you're looking at buying a home for $500,000, you can put that in there. You can put your interest rate in there, and you can put in all the information you need, like loan type and property values, things like that. If you have HOAs, you can put all of that in there, and then you can it'll calculate for you what your payment will be. So you don't even need to call from the phone. You can just sit there on your phone and do all that. You can do it right from the home itself. It's perfect.
Yeah. So you're looking at the house and you want to know, what is this going to cost me? It's right there. You've got a calculator. What do you need to know? You need to know if you're doing an FHA loan, a VA loan, a USDA loan, a conventional loan, because you need to actually select which mortgage calculator that you want it to run. And you need to know about what interest rates are, and you need to know how much money that you're putting down, right? Those are really important things to get that calculator to work.
Yes.
You also need to know your credit score, because guess what, guys? There's a lot of people out there that are not putting down 20%. If you're not putting down 20%, you're going to have mortgage insurance unless you're a vet or you're doing a USDA loan. So if you have your credit score and it runs the payment, it will actually pull the mortgage insurance rates, and it will show you what a complete full monthly payment will be: principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance. And that is really important, because when you go to those calculators that are on, realtor.com or Zillow or what, a lot of times they're not calculating that, and they're not calculating taxes, and they're not calculating insurance. And if they are, they're calculating what the current homeowner's taxes are. Those are not your taxes, people.
Right. Not only that, but they always are automatically set up as if you're putting 20% down, which
Yes.
is a huge misconception, or they're putting an incorrect rate, or they're putting the taxes as 1.15, and here where we're at in Los Angeles County, it's 1.25. That makes a big difference.
Sure does.
And I know that you and I are both licensed in different states, so different states have different tax brackets as well. So you really need to be aware of what it is that you're looking at when you are on different websites. That's why the app is perfect, because it's catered to exactly what you need.
Absolutely. And not only that, but you can call us, you can email us, you can listen to the podcast. So if you can't catch this show every Saturday, you're listening to us for the first time on radio, and you want to be able to go back and listen to other episodes, you can listen right through the phone app for the podcast. You can, like I said, you can email me, call me, text me. You can do whatever you want through this phone app. It's pretty awesome. But the calculator is my favorite part of the entire thing. So again, that is one way that you can get in touch with us. You're going to text the word MOM to 36260. That's text MOM to 36260. You will get your link by text, and you will click on that, and you will save it to your home screen. So next thing that you can do is you can follow us on Facebook if you guys prefer Facebook over YouTube. Everything that we stream goes live to YouTube on Wednesdays. It also goes to Facebook. Many of the workshops don't actually go live. Those are actually just uploaded as the separate playlist for the Homebuyer Workshop 2021. So if you want to actually watch the workshops, you do need to go to YouTube. And again, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us so much. And make sure you turn on that notification bell to know when all of these videos go up and when we are coming on live. And then obviously you guys can call us. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844-WE-LEND-FOR-YOU. And then Google us, Yelp us, check it out, see our reviews. And hey, if you've got a review to give, you guys feel that this is really good information, we're bringing you this free education. We're not charging you a dime for it. We're doing all of our consultations by phone, and they're all free, guys. So what do? You call, get on the calendar so you can talk to us for free. Learn for free. But if you guys like it, please give us a Google or a Yelp review. That really does also help us quite a bit. We want to get our voices out there. We want to get our names out there. We want people to know that we're here, and we want everybody to have the benefit of learning all of the information that we're providing. So really, we appreciate that. But now you know how to get a hold of us, and we're going to take you through. Oh, look at that. That's closing costs. Oh, he's got the wrong one up. Okay, well, let's go. We're not going to do that one. I actually made one that was specific for today. All right, hold on. That's all right. We're getting there. Oh, there we go.
It is.
I love that
the
one.
bus benches. I love those.
But do you see who's on the bus bench?
I do.
It's Phil Dunphy. What the heck was that? Was the name of that show? I cannot even remember right now.
I don't even know, but it's about as old
Oh,
as I
Modern
remember.
Family. Modern Family, because he was like the agent
there
in
it
Modern Family. So the most important thing that you guys need to do in your home buying is pick the right realtor for success. It really, really is important. So just pretend you guys have finished the workshop. You've gotten pre-approved. You've got that pre-approval letter in your hand. You are ready. You are ready to go shopping. You're ready to get to it.
I love it.
Now you've got to find the right real estate agent. You truly do. And if you don't know who to pick, We have a lot of we've got a lot of referrals that we can give you. We've got many real estate agents that we work with. We've got, I've got a great girl that's in Georgia. She's very close to Savannah. I've got a wonderful woman that is in Texas. She's near San Antonio. She goes a pretty big distance around San Antonio. Obviously, we've got real estate agents in every nook and cranny of California. So if there's a specific area that you're looking for or state that we're licensed in and you need that referral, please feel free to ask. Honestly, we work with the best. We expect the best. We provide the best, and we only work with the best. So I can absolutely, with full confidence, tell you that I can refer you to somebody that you will be very, very happy with. So if you need that referral, please feel free to reach out. And trust me, I get no compensation for the referral. I ask for nothing back in return. There is no, referral fee that they're getting a lead from Mortgage Mom Radio to go sell you a house or to turn around and sell your house for you. I am truly working with them because I feel that I can give that referral in confidence, and I'm not going to be embarrassed by the end of the transaction. And there have been a couple that I felt were, every now and then you think they're doing great, and then you refer them somebody and it's just a disaster.
Yeah.
And they're gone. I cannot ever send that referral again. I mean, it was just not acceptable, right? So, the people that we are working with now, we have done hundreds of transactions with at this point, and I don't have one that I would not feel confident giving you a name and telephone number and telling you to call them.
Yeah. It's important because it reflects on you.
Oh,
So
absolutely. It's like a real estate agent, right? Think about that. How often do you refer a lender? And then how does that go when that lender doesn't perform?
I always tell people that I work with, I'm only as good as the people that I work with. So it's like sometimes I can't choose, sometimes we can't choose escrow and title. And if we have a really bad escrow and title company, if we can't do anything about it, we can try our best to make it as good as we can. But, you really have to work with great people, and realtors are so important to work with the best. I cannot stress that enough. Lenders and realtors, escrow and title, they come and go. But that realtor, if something happens, you want them there. Same thing with that lender afterwards. You want to be able to call them.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into the important stuff, huh? So you're selecting your realtor. Okay, so have your own representation. Why do you think I have that on there?
A lot of people love to say, oh, I'm going to sell my house for sale by owner and I'm going to save myself some money. And it's such a big misconception. We rarely see, we call them FSBOs, for sale by owner. It's just an acronym. We rarely see them nowadays because legally, lawsuits, man, a lot of people are, lawsuit happy. Just with disclosures and things like that, and, just to protect yourself as a seller, it's really not an optimal way to go right now.
But think buyer, because this is a home buyer workshop, right? So why would I have that there for the buyer?
Well, for any buyer, but for a seller, sellers try to hook buyers in and say, you don't need a realtor. I just want to do this without agents. And so there's that aspect of it. And then for a home buyer, they come in and they go, oh, okay. And the seller will say, well, I'll save you a bunch of money because I don't have to pay a commission. For a buyer, it's really bad because the seller doesn't know what they are supposed to do and aren't supposed to do. And as a buyer, you want to know everything about that property. You want to know what's wrong with it, what they've done to it, if they've made modifications. Not only that, but there's a lot of different inspections that can be done that you may not know as a home buyer. We had a call today and they said, I want to know about the property. I want to know, if it's a fixer. I want to know, on a home inspection or a termite. And if you don't have representation as far as a realtor goes, you don't know who's supposed to pay for a termite inspection, who's supposed to pay for a home inspection, who's supposed to pay for an NHD report, who pays escrow fees, who pays title fees, who pays my loan fees, does the seller pay my closing costs, can they pay my closing costs? So there's so many questions. What happens after I close? I, wound up paying all this money that I didn't think I was going to have to pay, and the seller paid absolutely nothing. Well, that's what you agreed to because you didn't have representation.
Right.
Even on new home sales, the biggest misconception is, oh, you're a buyer and you don't need a realtor. No, a lot of new homes companies will actually work with outside lenders, and they'll also work with realtors.
So the reason that I also had this on there, which all of that is absolutely valid. There's so many reasons why you have representation, right? But the biggest thing that I see is I've also seen buyers believe that they can get their offer accepted over another buyer, especially in today's hot market where there's 15, 20 offers on a home. And a lot of buyers think that they're going to have the edge up if they
Advantage.
work with the listing agent on the property rather than having their own realtor
Yeah.
representing them.
Yeah.
And they believe that. And although that could happen, the hard part about that is that a real estate agent who has signed a contract with a seller, their number one first priority, first contract signed was to that
the
seller.
seller.
It wasn't to that buyer. So even though they could try to be that middle person and represent both sides, they still have that original first obligation to that listing agent or to that seller.
Yeah. So when a listing agent signs a contract with the seller, they are representing the seller. They're not technically representing the buyer. So when you go in and you sign a listing agreement, you're signing it with the seller, and the seller is paying that listing agent the commission. That listing agent is the one who then pays the buyer's agent. So if you walk in and you do select the listing agent, just know that their loyalty first is to that seller to get them that highest price. So it's not always a good decision.
It's not. And the way that I look at it too is, if you don't bring in your own real estate agent that is going to be taking care of you, protecting you, that you're not paying for as a buyer. That's what another thing a lot of buyers don't realize is that, like you just mentioned, the seller is paying the listing agent. The listing agent is offering money to other agents to bring a buyer in,
Correct.
right? So you're not paying for that agent of yours to represent you. So it's basically like you're throwing away an attorney.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
You're throwing away a free attorney. So do not do that. Go in there, have representation, and make sure that you've got somebody that's on your side, making sure that everything's going the right way. It's, at least in my opinion, I feel that that's important.
It is. And if you're a buyer that's really concerned about, even your agent representing you and has nothing to do with the listing agent, there are buyer broker representation forms out there where the broker that you're working with as far as a buyer's agent can represent just you. So, and still be paid, by the seller's agent.
Yeah,
Seller.
absolutely. So, all right. So that was a good one. Again, if you guys have questions, you want to get on the calendar, you want to talk to Heather because she is the realtor to talk to. It's 844-935-3634. Give us a call, get on the calendar, schedule an appointment, and you guys can talk with Heather. Make sure that you do, if you want to talk specifically about real estate, selling or buying, and you have these real estate questions, agent questions, make sure that when you call, if you do get the call service or you get Matt that's answering the phone, just make sure that you are specifying that you'd like to talk to Heather. So make sure that you put that in there. Obviously, I'm always here, and I think I know about as much as she does. So you guys can talk to me too if you want, but Heather's a good one, I'm telling you. Lots of experience. So, all right, so let's keep going. So the next bullet point I have here, Heather, is they need to have a vested interest in you. So the agent has to have that. So what do you need? What do you want? What can you afford? Okay. Do you need closing costs from the seller? What is your maximum sales price approved, right? So I find a lot of times that agents don't listen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's really important to me that when I'm talking to somebody and I'm telling them what my needs are, it's like I get in fights all the time with my car broker. And I don't buy, the car I have right now, I've had for like 3 years, right? And I really don't live very lavishly. I've mentioned that many times. Like I'm living in a, normal 1,800 square foot single story house built in 1982 in a tract cookie cutter, Valencia house, right? So I'm not like,
Right.
But I've had the car for 3 years, and every time I do buy a car, it's great because I can call him, tell him what I want. He will actually negotiate with the dealership, and I go down there and sign paperwork.
Yeah.
I don't have to meet with anybody. I don't have to go through the whole, back and forth for 4 hours over the price. He does all that for me. I literally just get there, sign it. They take my car. I pick up the new one and I leave. So it's nice. And I like working with him. So anyway, so I've had this car now. We were three and a half years at this point. And I was thinking, maybe I want a new car, and I'm calling him up and I'm talking to him and I'm like, I really like this one. And he's like, oh, well, they got this over here. I'm like, I told you I don't want black leather. Like, I'm over it. Every car I've had for the last 3 cars has been like black leather. I'm like, I don't want black in the interior, and then it's like he's sending me another thing. I'm like, I've had a white car for the last 3 cars. I don't want a white car, and it's like they're not listening.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing when you're fighting with your car guy and you'll be like, okay, never mind. I'm not buying a car right now.
Yeah.
Or, okay, you know what? I'm just going to get online because I can go to, Honda's website and I can see all of the dealer.
Yeah.
So part of it with, cars, COVID, there's just, again, not a lot of inventory, kind of same as houses. But they didn't make very many cars while everything was shut down. So right now it's like the slim pickings on inventory, right? So anyway, I get it. He's just trying to show me what's available. But I'm like, okay. But with a house, you're going to live there.
Yeah.
And you're going to live there for a long time.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that your agent is listening to you. If there is a certain neighborhood you want to be in, if you want Melrose or you don't, or you want HOA dues or you don't, or there's a certain elementary school or school district that is important to get your kids into, or there's a certain room count, or you don't want to have to fix the house when you want to buy it, turnkey, right?
Yeah.
Or you want a fixer. Like, they have to hear you.
Yeah, and some agents are really good about it, and they'll tell you if what you're asking for is just not available. They'll say, look, this is just not available, but I can do this. But then there's a lot of agents that, are looking to sell whatever they can, and they'll send you a list. We as agents can actually sign you up on our MLS systems for you to get listing notifications. And it's nice because we can put it in exactly what you're looking for. So if you're telling me, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Valencia with a pool, I can tell my MLS system, in Valencia, I want, 3 or more bedrooms, 2 or more bathrooms with a pool, and send it to you. And you can see exactly what's there. And you might get a 3-bedroom, you might get a 4-bedroom or a 5-bedroom, and you can decide what you want. And I will tell you, look, I'm going to send you just 3 bedrooms, or I can send you 3 bedrooms or more, and let you decide.
Right.
But then there are some agents that are like, oh, no, you have to have 4-bedroom or more. And you're like, well, there's nothing out there for me to look at.
Right.
And you're like, I'm trying to buy a home, and I know there's no 4 bedrooms in my price range.
Right. Or, hey, we've got this really great 2-bedroom, but you could
Yes.
always add a third one.
Yeah,
You
this is
know,
a
we
perfect
know
house
you've
for an
got
addition.
triplets, but the 2-bedroom would work. And then
Yeah.
if you're going to get it
Yeah.
at this price,
Yeah.
but then if you add the bedroom, then it's going to go up in value. I mean, you just made even more because now your house is now a 3-bedroom, not a 2-bedroom. And it's like, what?
Yeah. Or my favorite is, I know you're not looking for a fixer.
Look at me.
But Debbie's so excited. She's
So
an excited.
I mean,
Debbie's
that's
so
gross.
excited about it.
If you guys are listening Saturday morning, you're totally missing the fact that I'm pushing buttons. We're going through this PowerPoint presentation. I'm moving things around.
But yeah, you don't want a fixer, and all of a sudden they're showing you something that needs carpet and paint and a kitchen remodel and a bathroom remodel, and you're like, this is not at all what I wanted.
Right.
And it's a great price, and it's like at the top of your budget, and you're like, I have no money left over to renovate, and it's just totally off the mark.
Right, yeah.
So again, just super important that you are on par with your agent, and you guys are understanding exactly, they understand what you need and what you're looking for at the price that you want. And you're not getting stuff that you don't want, because that's a waste of your time. And then in the meantime, you might be missing something that you really, truly are looking for, because you're out looking at a fixer that's at the top of your budget that you don't want, or a 2-bedroom with
Yeah.
triplets that you don't want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, the other thing, too, that a lot of people don't know is that, yes, Realtor.com, Zillows, and
Yeah.
Redfins and all of those, they do get, when a house comes on the market, it does show up on that website.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not all
So
the time.
it's up to the real estate agent when they're putting it in the MLS to actually select whether or not it's going to go out to the rest of those
Yeah.
social media platforms, right? Or
Yeah.
websites. But what you also don't realize is when it says new, it's actually already a minimum of like 24 hours old.
Yeah, it takes a little while for some of those sites to catch up with our MLS system. So those sites are kind of auto-populated, so to speak, based off of our MLS system. So if you're working with an agent and the agent has you on an auto email, you're going to get that notification pretty much instantaneously the minute it hooks on to our MLS system. If you're on a Zillow or a Redfin or something like that, you're going to be delayed. So somebody might already have looked at the property, or 4 or 5 people or something in the
They
time
might,
that you're just
especially
getting
right
it.
now in this market, they may
Yeah.
already have 7 offers
Oh,
by
yeah.
the time it shows up as new listing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it is really important if you've been thinking about buying a home. I get it. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
likes to window shop. It's scary to pull that trigger. You don't want to make that phone call to that real estate agent.
Right.
You don't want to start getting, you're going to feel like you're going to be bombarded or hounded about, looking at homes. Just literally call and get, and if you need a referral, again, we can do that for you. I've got agents in all different MLS systems that can help you. They'll talk to you about what you need. They'll set you up with what your specifics are that you're looking for, and they'll set you on that drip system and leave you be.
But see, that's the thing. That again goes back to really having your agent know you, and maybe they definitely want to call you and get a referral because they know that your agents aren't going to do that. If a client calls me and says, look, Heather, I'm just getting a feel of what's out there. I have no idea. Can you just set me up so I can get a system? Yeah, sure. Here's the emails. Call me if you see something you like. Text me, email me. No problem. I know when a client tells me, I just want to get an idea of what's out there. I just want to see what's available. They're just looking, and I am not going to bother them. I know the agents you're talking about.
Yes.
And if you don't want that, just call Debbie. We'll give you a referral for somebody, and we will tell them, look, this client is not looking to be bombarded. They just want to see what's out there.
Yeah.
And that goes with really, they need to understand you, be vested in you, and understand you are just trying to get an idea of what's out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So next side of this PowerPoint presentation. And again, if you guys have questions, you want to get on the calendar, you want to talk to us, you want to get pre-approved, you want to talk to Heather, you want to know what should you have questions about the real estate agent herself. Love it. Give us a call. Call the office. It's 844-935-3634. This would be a great time for you guys to hit that like button if you haven't done it already. I hope I'm bringing you much educational information and everything that can help you get through your transaction a little bit less stressfully. If you have not subscribed already, subscribe to our channel, please, right here on YouTube. If you're listening on Saturday morning, you guys want to see more, you want to see what we're doing, you want to actually watch us do this, you got to go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on that notification bell so that you are getting all of the content as we upload it through the system. But okay, so here we go. Ready? Experts in their marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this is so important. And I'm going to read off my list, and then I'm going to let you talk about it.
Okay.
Okay. So does the neighborhood have Mello-Roos? Does the property have HOA dues? Does the condo complex have litigation? Is the project FHA approved? What are the school boundaries for each home we view?
Yeah, so for those that aren't aware, what Mello-Roos is, sometimes it's also called a landscape maintenance fee. Some new home developments are coming up with more creative names because people kind of caught on to Mello-Roos. It's an additional...
They're special assessments.
Yeah, it's an additional charge on your taxes, and usually it's charged monthly. It does affect how much you can qualify for a home. So it definitely needs to be noticed to you up front. So if a property has a Mello-Roos, it's something that you want to know because it's going to affect how much you qualify for. Generally, it runs several $100s. I've seen some up to $600 and $700 and $800 a month. I've seen them as low as under $100 a month. Just depends on where they are, how old the Mello-Roos is, and what it's for.
Yeah, and it is part of your property tax bill.
Yes.
So it is something that if your taxes are impounded, you're going to pay it monthly. If your taxes are not impounded, you're going to pay it with your 2 property tax bills per year. But it does make a huge difference. So for me, when I'm actually getting somebody pre-approved, I'm talking about, are you looking at a single family? Are you looking at a condo? And then when they tell, or townhome or duplex or 2-unit, right? But whatever it is that they're looking for, then I'm running the numbers not with the assumption that the property has Mello-Roos. And I'm letting them know that. When you're out looking for a home, you need to be specific with your realtor. Does this property have Mello-Roos? The reason that I say experts in their marketplace is that real estate agent, if they are good at what they do, they are truly an expert in that area that you want to work, where you want to buy, then they know the answer without even looking it up. They know which tracts have Mello-Roos, they know which tracts do not, and they know for a very good amount of them already know a very close percentage to what that Mello-Roos is going to run. So if you're talking to somebody that has absolutely no clue or no idea, that is not their marketplace. They are not the expert in the field in your neighborhood that you want to be in. So very, very important. And that goes with the same thing with HOA dues.
Yeah, and HOA dues for homes, sometimes, where we're at in Valencia here, they can run anywhere from $50, $60, on up to $100. But then some of them, when you get into the condos and townhomes,
yeah, but a lot of these new properties are 200,
the new properties
250.
are 200. If you want to be on the golf course, 400, 450, and same thing with the condos and the townhomes. And that totally impacts what you're going to qualify for because you are considering that for sure in the amount that you're going to be qualified for. So if somebody's showing you a house, just because it's an older home built in the 80s, especially here, does not mean it does not have an HOA due. So you really definitely need to know. And sometimes there's different sections of homes that are built when the builder's building. They'll build one section where the HOA due is maybe $100, but then on their newer section, it's $150. Well, again, it's a big difference. So you definitely need to know, is there, dues, and how much is it on what section, because it's going to impact how much you're going to qualify for, because it's a monthly reoccurring. Then also with the complex, does it have litigation going into condos? That also can affect how much you qualify for. It also can affect your HOA dues. So usually if the condo complex or townhome complex is in litigation, they will have a higher HOA due because they have to raise it to hire attorneys or sometimes pay off if they're, fixing something. Here in Valencia, after we had an earthquake in '94, after that earthquake, a lot of the condo complexes out here had litigation, and they had special assessments that were in addition to
The normal dues.
the dues. Yeah, so that definitely affected it. Also, if there's litigation, we need to know because maybe the complex isn't FHA approved. And if it's not FHA approved and you're an FHA approved buyer, I should not be showing you houses in that complex.
Well, even if there's litigation, there's going to be a problem with a conventional loan too. So, there's a lot that comes down to that. But again, you need to be working with somebody that knows the area that you want to live in, and they know the condominium complexes, and they know which ones, if you're a vet, that condominium complex has to be VA approved, or you cannot get your VA loan in it. If you need to use an FHA loan, that complex has to be FHA approved, or you cannot get an FHA loan in that complex. So it is very, very important, again, that the real estate agent that you're choosing is an expert in the area, in the neighborhood that you want to buy in. If they don't know, that's a problem. So you want to make sure that you are working with somebody that truly knows and understands everything about where you want to be. How bad would it be if you bought a house and the realtor told you, oh yeah, you're in the boundary for this school district.
Oh, yeah. And
You're one street away
all the time.
You're one street away. You close the house and you're like one street away, and you're not part of that. You go to the district, you're all excited to set those kids up, and you're not part of our district. And you're like, what?
And sometimes you can go onto the websites and they have all the boundaries drawn, because we get this question all the time. I want my kid to go to, especially like in Granada Hills, because Granada Hills is an amazing high school. I want my child to go to this. Okay, you need to call the school directly and find out, because they constantly change the boundaries. As more homes are developed and more kids are going into that district, they will change the boundaries at a whim's notice. And the boundary that's on their website may not necessarily be the correct boundary. So if you're really concerned about what school your child's going to, a really good realtor will tell you, please call and do a little bit of homework and find out from the district themselves, is this home in the boundary that you're looking for?
Yeah, no, I like it. That's great advice. Very good advice. So here's my question. Is there anything on this list that you feel that I did not mention or bring up that's important to talk about when you're trying to select the right real estate agent?
When you're trying, did you forget anything?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Do you feel like I forgot anything? Do you feel like we caught everything? We gave it a...
Yeah, no, I think just somebody who's looking out for what you really want in your best interest, and just really isn't going to rush you. Do they know the neighborhoods? A lot of times I hear, my cousin's friends, uncles, brothers, buddy Bob is a realtor. Okay, well, does Bob know the area? I mean, it's nice sometimes to work with family or friends or whatever, but realistically, this is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest investments of your life. You really, really want somebody that knows the area. You don't want to find out afterwards that you have Melrose or that you have HOAs. So I think you got it covered. I think you're good.
You can actually put us back up to full screen, because we're done with the PowerPoint at this point. But and I agree with you, and I think that it is so important. One of the big things too that we didn't really talk about, I mean, I mentioned it on the slide, but we really didn't talk about it, and I think it's something that we should, is a lot of times I qualify people, pre-qualify them, and I'm pre-qualifying them for a number that they're not necessarily comfortable going to. So just because I can qualify them for a $600,000 sales price doesn't mean that they want to buy 600. And so when I talk with a client and I'm getting them pre-approved, I'm going through, where is your comfort level? What is the monthly payment? Where do you want to be? If we're including everything, your taxes, your insurance, if everything rolled in, HOA dues, Melrose, everything, your entire house nut, what is comfortable for you? And they give me a number, and then I'll say, okay, and we'll back down. We'll back out of where I was able to get to maximum and say, this is the price that you need to be looking in to obtain what you want. Now, many times people will, in all fairness, go out there and look for what they want at their affordability level and decide,
I don't want this.
I don't want this. We're going to have to go up, right? And they're going to talk to the CPA, and then they're going to find out that they get to write things off and that they're going to get a bigger tax return at the end of the year. And it all works out, and they go to a little bit higher payment than what they originally started with. But I want that person to find that out. I want them to figure that out. I don't want a real estate agent pushing them saying, well, you're qualified for 700, and they just immediately start sending them listings for 700.
Happens all the time.
Right. I want them to, if they're comfortable at 500, send them listings for 500 and below, right? And then if they don't see what they like, they can call the realtor and say, all right, this isn't working for me, bump me up to 550. And then at least those start to come, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't like it when a real estate agent knows what the maximum is and that they just automatically go there and start pushing for it. It really, really is important that you are comfortable with your payment and that you know that no matter what happens, that is a payment that is obtainable for you that you can make.
Yeah.
Because if, it doesn't matter what happens with the market. It doesn't matter if property values drop. It doesn't matter if interest rates go up. If you're in a fixed rate 30-year loan at a payment that you can afford, you can stay in that home for as long as necessary. Even if that payment or even if that, property value drops, it will come back. It will eventually go past where it stopped the time before. There will be equity in it.
Yeah.
If you're looking at buying your first home right now, whether you're in your, 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s, I'm going to tell you right now, even in your 50s, you still got a long time ahead of you that even if the market fell, it's going to come back before you pass away someday. And that's, it's going to be part of inheritance to your kids. And if you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, it's going to be part of your retirement goal. It's so there's never a bad time to buy. I just want to bring that up. We had that question actually, I think it was yesterday, somebody called in and they asked me that question, should I even be thinking about buying right now today? Is it a good time to buy? Prices are so high. There's never a bad time to buy. There's only a bad time to sell. And Larry's actually been on with me, the mortgage dad, and that's like his favorite line, and I love it. I've stolen it from him. But it is the truth, right? Where the problem is the bad time to buy is when you think that you're going to buy something for a quick flip, but here's the catch. You can't afford it.
Yeah.
So you're buying it thinking, I'm going to get in there. I can't afford it, but I can carry it for a couple months, but I'm going to do this, do that, and I'm going to flip it for, quick cash.
Bad.
Do not buy homes for a quick flip unless you're in the business as a quick flipper.
Yeah.
That is your job, right? Your job is that you're a quick flipper.
Yeah.
Buy a home, even if it's an investment property. You know what they can rent for. You know what the unit would rent out for. You know how much your payment's going to be. You know that you're going to cover the mortgage with the rents that you would receive. You know that you've got a little bit extra left to the side. You feel comfortable with the fact that you might end up having to do some work to the house, some maintenance, some repairs with a renter in there. You know that there's a possibility that you might not get paid rent for a little bit. You know that there's a possibility that maybe it might be vacant for a couple of months, whether you're doing rehabs or, tenants moved out. No matter what the position is right now for the purchase, do it knowing that you can afford it. Make the correct decision. Do not, if you are feeling shaky in your stomach about it, it's probably not the right thing to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. And it just goes back to, like you were talking about, getting pre-approved for a price. That's why I think it's important for buyers to talk to the lender first.
Yeah.
If an agent sends you sometimes to a lender and says, qualify them, the lender will call the agent back and say, they're qualified to 750. Okay, well, now you're stuck at 750. Versus if they talk to the lender first and they say, I'm comfortable at 700, you can start at 700. And, I've had clients before that have been pre-approved for 750 and said, no, we want to stay at 650. Okay, fine. I have no problem with that. That's where you're comfortable at.
Well, and when somebody comes to me and they tell me specifically where they want to be in price range, and we work through those numbers and we know what that monthly payment is that they want to have, I'm actually giving them a pre-approval letter based on our conversation.
Right.
So there's actually been quite a few times that a real estate agent has called me back and said, okay, we've got this offer in, but we've got to go like $10,000 more. Like, can they do it? And I'll open up the file and I'm like, Yeah. Their debt ratios are so low. Like they decided that was their number that they wanted to be at. So just remember too, that if you talk to your lender and we give you a pre-approval letter based on where you want to be, and then you decide that you want to go up higher, make sure you call your lender back and say, hey, I'd really like to go to this number. Could you give me a new pre-approval letter? Or, hey, could you call my realtor and let them know it is okay, for me to go up to the next level, because we're doing what we can to help you, to protect you, to give, try to keep you where you want to be comfort level wise. So you need to make sure that you're communicating with us so that we can get that information out there correctly.
Yeah, otherwise the realtor's like, wait, we can't go this high.
Right? Exactly. Hey, so once again, if you guys want to give us a call, it's 844-935-3634. No matter what time of day or night you guys call, we are answering the phones. We've got a call service that does it after hours, and we've got our great guy, Matt, that answers them during the day. And you guys can get on the calendar, schedule an appointment. Schedule an appointment with me, schedule an appointment with Heather, schedule an appointment with Heidi, Carrie, Cindy, any of the girls. Schedule an appointment.
We're here.
Yeah, they're here. All the boys, no, don't. Just kidding. You guys want to get that great handy dandy phone app I told you all about? Text the word mom to 36260. Check out our website. Go to mortgagemomradio.com. You can send me a message right through the website, through the contact us button. You can actually go through, get an interest rate quote, get a home value quote. It's going to take you through a funnel where you're going to add all your information in there to give us a good sense of who you are. It will shoot that off to us through email, and we will reach out to schedule an appointment with you to have a conversation, do a consultation. We want to get you on the calendar. We want to do a consult. We don't want to do an immediate phone call right now. You called in, boom, you get transferred. I'm going to tell you that the best thing to do is to actually schedule out the calls. And why do I do that? Well, because it gives time. So we're literally putting that time away for you. You are getting 1 hour of time that you can ask any questions that you have. We can go through all of your details in full, whether you're a refinance, should you refinance, what would a rate be, what if I pull cash out, what if I pay off all these debts, how much interest will I pay over 30 years, how much interest will I pay over 15 years, and trust me, that can be a very good hour-long consultation. Or whether you want to talk about buying a home, we want to make sure you understand the process. We want to take you through, well, how much are you making, where is your credit score, how much are your debts, do you have a car payment, do you have student loans, hey, guess what? If those student loans are deferred, we still have to know. So you better, make sure you know what is your balance on those student loans, because we're going to qualify you based on your balance. Even if your payment is deferred, we still have to hit you for some debt. So, it's really, really important to do that. So get on the calendar, schedule the call. We're going to text you 15 minutes before so you don't forget. You know that we're calling you at that time, and you've got our attention, and we're going to talk all about you, take notes about you, get you off the information that you need to get that application started once you're ready. And then we're going to sit back and we're going to wait for you, because we do things on your time. We don't hound. I know it's scary to pick up the phone and you feel like people are going to start bugging you. Same thing if you go to my website and you put your information in, you feel like somebody's going to bother you. You're going to get an email from us right away that says, if you're contacting us through business hours, we're going to reach out to schedule a phone call. And you can reply to that email, and you could say, I don't really want to talk on the phone. I'd rather do it through email. Totally cool. I love that. I don't want to talk to you either. But if you want to talk, Matt's going to reach out. He's going to call, or, Heather or Cindy, but they're going to call and they're going to reach out and they're going to schedule an appointment with you. And then you're going to have that consultation. So it really is cool. Give us a call. It's 844-935-3634. I'm pretty sure that we are at the end of our hour, but it was a good one. Homebuyer Workshop Unit number 12, all about how do I pick my realtor. This is Heather again, Heather Kilpatrick. She is new to my team. I love it. Not new to the friendship, not new to the business, not new to the game. Just new to the team.
Yep.
Woo! Keep
Excited.
building them girls. Anyway, we thank you so much for watching. We love you all, and we'll be back next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lender Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida 76508, Georgia 69178, Illinois 031.0058339, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington 237926. ID cycle points DBO 1666881, Arizona 101648.
She's a mortgage mom. She can get things done. When you're in need and don't know where to go, pick up the phone and call mom.